Hey everyone! I have come to the realization that I get overwhelmed really easily when it comes to gardening. I mean, it's not necessarily a realization, it's just, that's what happens. That's me. Yeah, we got some of the landscape fabric down this week. We did that kind of right away. But I really think I want to do raised beds. I have a couple raised beds already that are over where the tomatoes are. I think I showed you guys that. I just feel like there's a better, like, what do you call it? Just a line where you can say, okay, this is my working space right now. Where compared to a garden where you're in the ground and you got rows, it's pretty much like, oh, I have a 1/4 acre to weed. And so, it's just kind of overwhelming. And I'm gonna show you why. This is why. It's so fabulous that it's growing and green, and there's potatoes coming up over there, but there's all this other green. Like, here are my royalty purple beans, and there's all this green in between. This green, that green is grass. I don't like working. I mean, I like working in the garden. I don't like pulling weeds. That's just something that I have always hated. But I think it gives you like that little bit of like devotional of you need to weed the bad out from your life. You need to maybe change the way you're doing some things in order to make room for the good that's coming. And sometimes, like for me, that's a really hard pill to swallow, that I need to get rid of any, not necessarily negativity, because you will always have some negativity in your life, but that I need to change something, or I need to remove something from my life in order to make room for the good things that are coming, that the Lord has in store for me. Working in the garden really kind of makes you think about that, or makes you think about whatever your belief system is, whatever you believe in. It makes you go back to that and look it over and bring in inspiration. Yesterday was Sunday. It was a great day. At the end of the day, I just started feeling like a failure. And that happens to me every once in a while, but I just started feeling that way, and I know it's the adversary, because thoughts like that do not come from our Father. Thoughts like that, just all they do is bring you down and make you lose your inspiration, and they make you lose everything that Father has given you, at least in self-confidence wise. For me, that's how it works. But I'm gonna sit and dwell on that, because today is a new day, and I'm gonna look at all these weeds, and I'm gonna try and get some out of the garden before it gets hot out. And I'll show you guys a little bit of a tour here as I'm working. And yeah, hopefully you guys will see some cool little sprouties. Also, we purchased brand new seed, just like the same day that we planted it. And a lot of it's actually not coming up, which is really kind of annoying. I don't know. Who knows what this garden's gonna do for us? Maybe it's just something that we need just to help us look back at the work that it takes to produce something of value. And look forward to showing you the garden this week, as there's lots of little sprouties. So one of the things that I think of when I'm sitting here weeding is how these weeds, or these things that can bring us down in our life, how sometimes they trap us. Like, they wrap us up. That's all we can see is the weeds. And some of them are very binding, like bindweed, where it'll just twist and twist and twist and twist and go around. And other things, they're just there. They're just standing next to us. They're blocking our view from seeing our full potential. And if we don't get rid of those things, they can choke us out and they can make it a lot harder for us to succeed. And so I am going to weed this row of cucumbers, and hopefully they will succeed. Oh, look at our berries, you guys. We've already tried some. I might be able to actually, yeah, there's some on the other side. Let's go over here. Look at, yummy. Maybe this will be my breakfast today. Some black caps. This guy might not be. Yep, that's right. I don't know about you, but the mosquitoes are horrible this time of year. Jackpot! We got cantaloupe and zinnias, and our peas are not doing very well. Could be because it's hot, but like 3 of them came up. More berries. Look at. Corn is coming. And so is the milkweed. Okay, so here is, you see our grass field here. Sorry, I still have berries in my mouth. All those little things popping up right there, that's all milkweed. I don't want to till it in. I want that to be here for the monarchs because they're struggling right now, you guys. They need. That's what I can say. I don't see, thank you. I don't see any broccoli coming up. Yeah, I don't think that's broccoli. So I don't think we're gonna have broccoli this year. I'm trying to think, there's kind of a line of these guys, but that really doesn't look like broccoli to me. Yeah, this is a problem here. So I just bought these 2, well, not 2, I bought a whole pack of tenderette beans and I planted them all the way down to where the end of that black fabric is. 2 came up. 2! Okay, fine. There is a third. Where is he? Right here. There's a third. And a fourth. But really, that's it. Why? It's brand new seed. That makes no sense to me. The royalty purple potted bean is doing all right. There's some bug damage. I'm gonna have to come here with the neem. Yeah, I know carrots, they start small, like super, super small. I don't see anything here. So what I was saying about the raised beds, I want to have all this. I want to raise beds. Raise beds, raise beds, raise beds all the way. I just feel like it's so much easier. I mean, besides the fact of like having to bend down or kneel the whole time. Oh, I just found some more berries. Yummy. I just think it'll help my brain focus, which is something that I really have a hard time doing. Like right now, I am totally looking at everything else beside the actual garden. We have 2 linden trees growing here, and they are loaded with the little blossoms and that little extra leaf thing. Guys, I'm not one to use proper terminology, so you'll have to excuse me for that. The little linden, when it's ready for you to harvest some, it has an extra like leaf thing that comes off, and that's what you harvest along with the buds. And our tree, here, let me see if I can show you. Our trees, so this one over here, and then this one here, are linden trees. And can I zoom it all? You see all those little things hanging off? But yeah, you see all those little dangly things? That's what you harvest. Guys, the mosquitoes are freaking out, so I need to get this tour over with so I can work. And the sun's coming out. It's starting to get hot. All right, so we are going to look down this garden here and show you guys some pretty cool things. So, my son has multiple watermelon. This is one at the end of the garden. You didn't see this one. And I have yellow squash coming up. And look it, you see them? The potatoes are poking. Now I promised Ike that I would not walk between these because he made really narrow paths, like 1 foot width on these mounds. So yeah, I'm not gonna walk through these. But yeah, they're all the way going there, going down to the end. And these ones over here, so there's a line right about here that's split because these are a different type of potato. And they may be coming up a little bit. I don't know. I don't see any groundbreaking yet, so we'll have to see what happens with those. But yeah, these ones over here are coming up perfectly, and they are yellow potatoes, I believe. Yeah. They're like the Yukon Golds. They're yellow. They've got a nice, I think they're considered like a wax potato instead of the russet potato. We don't really like the russets. But yeah, so there's the potatoes. Zucchini! Yes! And more! Zucchini! Zucchini! And look, I'm gonna come over here. This is totally an overgrown spot in the garden. But, oh, yes. You know, probably shouldn't record myself gorging on these berries, because then I can Ryan will be like, why didn't you save any for me? Oh man, our property is so overrun with thousands, I'm not kidding, thousands of berry plants. So it's kind of cool. I'm gonna eat these, and those are on the other side of the fence. I call them fair game, right? If I can reach them, I can get them. But back there in our old chicken coop, all those are berries, and they are all, I see quite a few ripe ones. So there's plenty. There's a whole mess in there, the black ones that are ready. Okay guys, so this is what I'm harvesting. I can't tell if it's focusing or not because the light doesn't want to show me. But these are yummy. They're little black caps. They're not, I've heard people call them black raspberries before. I'm not 100% sure if that's actually what they are, but they're black caps. We have them everywhere. They are amazing and they're yummy. Okay, so I did some weeding, you guys. But the mosquitoes are freaking out on me and I need to go in the house and get some spray. So I'm gonna come over here. The sun has not hit this section of our garden yet, but I feel, oh my goodness, mosquitoes. I feel really good about this section of garden, and I'm gonna show it to you quick before I get eaten alive. Yesterday I came out and I staked up my tomatoes, and even though this one's a bush plant, I still like to stake them because look at the babies, there's so many. I love it when they've got these little like stars, which they will keep forever. I'm just saying that they will keep them forever. But I love seeing all the little stars lined up. But I wanted to stake them because I don't want them to be down on the ground. I'm gonna have to prune again just to make it so the water splash doesn't get up there. I've got my basil. There's one basil plant who's doing really well. And here's another staked one. This one isn't indeterminate, so it's just gonna keep growing and growing. And we've had them reach the top of these poles before, and they get loaded with tomatoes. And so I ran out of stakes though, so I had to use one of these little shepherd's hooks, and it's already past it. So I may be throwing another stake in there. But yeah, we've got the beginnings of a little tomato garden here. Look, little baby tomatoes. They're so pretty. I have a few more. These are Romas here that I need to stake up. And another basil plant is buried in there. And I think, I'm not for sure, but I believe that's a volunteer tomato. We had tomatoes planted over in this spot yesterday. So there's radishes over there. And here's my lemon balm. It's kind of going crazy. And then we got some little stevia plants. So I feel like in the boundaries of these raised beds. Yeah, it's not perfect. And yes, I have straw down. If I had had straw down out in the big garden, I would have had less weeds, obviously. But we are going to put raised beds in just because it's easier to keep my brain contained is what I am thinking. Yeah, my brain really needs to be contained. I see the borders and I'm instantly like, oh, I only have to work in this small little space. And it makes it easier for me. All right, I'm gonna show you the herb garden once again. We'll just do it quick. Oh my goodness, you guys. There's so much grass in here. I don't know what to do. Spilanthes and all these little buzz buttons are coming back, which is good, and they're gonna bush again. And there's a little tiny bit of sage there. I got my Ohio spiderwort. I'm gonna go on the other side here. And finally, you guys, look at a nasturtium came. Ah, yes, the sweet grass. Okay, so I went to that herbalist who sold me the sweet grass, and she reassured me that yes, it is indeed sweetgrass, and we braided sweetgrass together, and that was a really awesome and fun time. Thank you, Carrie. That was I really had fun. But yeah, so we did transplant some more in here. She had some that were straggling, and they're leaning over here and not, I don't know, they're not liking the pot as much as these guys. But the reason why it doesn't smell so sweet is because it wasn't dry. I have a braid that we did together, and oh my goodness, it's so potent. It is amazing. So yeah, out of about 20 seeds I planted in here, there is one that came up. I think we just had bad luck with seed saving. I mean, granted, these seeds were like 10 years old and they weren't properly stored. Chamomile. So I planted 4 plants this year, and then over here in this spot we have chamomile that came up last year, and it's kind of straggling. But what I'm going to do is I'm planning on not harvesting, as sad as it is, and I know that I should harvest to keep the blooms coming, but I'm just letting it go to seed to try and reseed this little space, and hopefully next year it will take off a little bit more. And lost in the grass here is peppermint. Peppermint is lost in the grass. Got some bug damage here. I might need to respray some neem. They almost completely devoured my Pearly Everlasting. I'm gonna say it, a lot of these are gone, and I don't have hope for them unless they're gonna grow from down there, which I would be fine with. Kind of restart. This one does still have some green on it, but those caterpillars, man, I got so mad at them. Here we got some calendula. It's still dewy out, so it's wet, and I'm not going to harvest them while they're wet, because since I cure my herbs, it may take a little longer to dry. And we've got Monarda fistulosa, and this one is taking off over here. Seriously, this is like up to my neck. I'm waiting for your little buds. All right, so my husband thinks he's going to probably prune these way back because I don't know if you can see, there's the size of the ripe ghost peppers that are coming lately. They like ripen instantly. So they're still a pack a punch, but yeah, we're not going to have them be that tiny. It's just not worth it. All right. So we got the bone set here. This was really getting eaten alive by bugs. And I sprayed neem and it just like took off again, and you can see the damage from before. Oops, I'm way in the shade here. You can see the damage from the before, and then it just took off and resprouted. So that is awesome. And we've got sweet, well, I guess it is sweet. It's got a sweet flavor. But we got anise hyssop here. And Carrie, the herbalist that I got the sweetgrass from, she gave me a Siberian motherwort. I have never used it. I haven't even looked it up yet. So here is this little baby. It's growing, and she uses Siberian motherwort interchangeably, she told me. But I don't know. You guys, look at St. John's wort. Giant St. John's wort is coming. Hopefully it produces red oil. I hope it does. My California poppies are taking off. I'm not sure when when to harvest them. I know they're not gonna stay, and because it's just too, it's just too cold here for them for in the winter. But I gotta harvest them sometime. I don't know when we'll do that. The mugwort patch. The mugwort patch. She's gorgeous. I love her. I think I'm gonna make some wreaths. I saw those being made and they look pretty cool. The L campaign is getting eaten up again. Oops. L campaign's being eaten up. It's just, you guys, I think I just need to come and spray some neem. Yeah, you can see here. Here's my valerian. The flowers have not survived. However, the bugs are not here. I don't know if it's because I sprayed or if it is because they ate them all. Same thing goes for my marshmallow. The bugs are not here, but neither are the flowers. I mean, there are some flowers up here. Oh, there is one bug. He's chowing down. I'm gonna have to spray. Yeah. Tonight is the night. That is your last meal. My skull cap is starting to bloom. Look it. Look it. Focus, come on. The skull cap is starting to bloom. How cool is that? You know, I'm not giving up on the garden this year. It just, we got such a late start. Yeah, it just kind of got away from me. It does every year, and I think that happens for a lot of people. When I'm not out in the garden, I'm sitting here working on the magazine. If you guys don't know, I have a magazine. It's called Home Herbalist Magazine, and it's just something that I really thought we needed in the herbal community, and I just want you guys to know that you can be an herbalist from home, and you don't have to pay thousands of dollars for people to teach you these things. You can learn them easily. Yeah, and we're hoping that the magazine will help you realize that and give you the resources to do and become a wonderful home herbalist. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'd love it if you'd subscribe and share it with your friends. Also, if you want to check out some of these other videos that are up here, go for it. I'm building content, so maybe you'll find something useful to you. All right, thanks.